Facebook Live, we have arrived. Good morning, good morning. Let's get ready to get it in one more time, y'all.
Conference muted. Conference recording started.
I want to thank everybody for chiming in. This is Watchman Yahudah Israel, also known as Pastor Derek Mann, on early what I City Script Study and Prayer Line on this 25th day in October 2018. I want to pray for everyone that's on the line, that Yahshua get all in their business and bless them real good. And everyone that's on the line chiming in. My sister Trinda, Colt Rhea, and Nicole, Carl chimed in. Thanks for hanging out with us this morning. Colt Rita B. Big Mark is on the line, on the conference line, and so many others. Just praying that Yah continue to bless you all. Al, Mal, Fee, and Big Cam. Let's get the word, y'all. Let's go to 2 Corinthians, right? 10, real quick. Let's dive straight in. 2 Corinthians 10, starting the first verse. Now I, Shaul, myself beseech you, by the meekness and the gentleness of the Mashiach, who in presence am base among you, but being absent am bold towards you. But I beseech you that I may not be bold when I'm present with that confidence wherewith I think to be bold against some which think of us as if we walk according to the flesh. I deal with stuff like that sometimes, right? Like the gospel is like this overall lifestyle thing, right? And the Most High, covers everything. In fact, we function as a body. And sometimes it's difficult for people to function as a body because functioning in the body, like your personal body, everything inside of your body has a responsibility to keep you alive so that you can, function. And when you take a bunch of individual lives, pull them together, in his body, everyone has something to do, and that's a hard concept for folks, especially when folks would rather have the state of mind of, I just want to be saved, me, as an individual. And I apologize, a nephew called me today because we were supposed to get together, and, I forgot. I'd be all over the place, super busy, but I haven't forgot about you, nephew. But anyway, it's kind of difficult for people to get the concept of functioning as a body and assuming responsibility, right? And me as a preacher, I have to preach, the body mentality. We got to come together as a body and learn to work together. Good morning, Jackie. I miss our brother already, too, sis. But we got to learn, to work together, as a body, right? And so, they were giving Shaul a hard time. Paul, they call him Paul, y'all. But they were giving him a hard time, like challenging him and accusing him of being, fleshly, after the flesh, a fleshly guy, And his response was, in the third verse, it says, so for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. This is a spiritual warfare. Though we walk in the flesh, we're in this body because we're here on earth. We're in this body because it's necessary to navigate it in this natural world. But there's a whole lot of stuff going on more than what meets the eye. This is a spiritual race, y'all. Though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, This is not people Sugar Shane, bless you. People see, we do physical things based on what's happening in the spiritual. How we live our lives is 100% spiritual, even if we don't know it or not. The things we do, the things we say, where we go, who we hang with is all spiritual. The word speaks stuff like, how can two walk together except they be agreed? If someone is living in a way that you don't agree with, you're not going to walk with them. You guys don't have nothing in common because it's a spiritual thing. Before the physical body do anything, the body gets its command from spiritual thoughts. Words and thoughts, you can't see them. They're not tangible, but they're carried out in the physical body. When a person do something wicked, it's because they stinking thinking is wicked, because it's spiritual. It's all spiritual. We're not carnal. When you belong to the Most High, you're switched from living your life from a carnal standpoint to a spiritual standpoint. And it is a war. The weapons. It's a war of our warfare. It's a war. A thought can launch an attack on me. A thought that will try to get me to go against the Most High, to think a certain way. There's a state of mind that's not acceptable to the Most High. A pattern of thinking that the word says is enmity against Yah. It's not subject. It won't bow down to Yah, and neither indeed can be. There's a state of mind that's rebellious against the Most High, and it will not submit. It will not submit. It will not cooperate with the Most High. There's a state of mind. Now, when you learn that, in other words, let me go another route. Not only is it a state of mind, but it's a way of no, I'm gonna say the mind. There is a state of mind that is the Most High's enemy, and we're all born with it. There is a state of mind that is absolutely the enemy of the Most High. Now, we don't necessarily know that, though. We don't necessarily know that. We don't. We're born with it. We don't know that. We call it like I'm doing my natural born thing. But when that state of mind meet the Most High, one or two things is going to happen. Either that state of mind is going to be killed because we're going to kill it willingly, we're going to go against it, or it's going to reign supreme in our life. Because the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. This is not pistol. This is not knife. This is not. It's not physical. It's a spiritual war going on. It's a state of being that is evil. And what the Most High came to do, he came down 42 generations, became a human being, so he can deal with that state of mind. He came a human being and he conquered it. He conquered his human nature. He caused his human nature to submit to the will of the Most High. He did not give in to the desires of being a man. He overcame it with the sword of the Spirit, because the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. He caused his flesh, that those desires that would go against the Most High, he caused them to have to lie down, kick back. Like even in the Garden of Gethsemane, when he was tempted not to go through with it, he had a right not to do it, but who for the joy that was set before him endured it. Because the weapons of, look, we're at war. We're in a war. And prayerfully, when we meet in the mornings or in the evenings, right, to come together, we're trying to get strengthened for the war, because there's going to be another battle fought today. And it's going to be spiritual. See, like when the Most High was like putting things in its proper perspective, switching from Torah, Old Testament to New, he was letting them know, like if a man look upon a woman to lust after her, he has already committed adultery in his heart, right? He was switching it because in Torah, you had to physically do it. But Torah is just a shadow, and it's like more of a carnal way of attempting to govern a relationship with the Most High. But the ultimate relationship with the Most High is spiritual. 100%. So he said, no, look, before a person commits physical adultery, they already committed it in their head, because it's spiritual. It already happened. The flesh is the manifestation of what you're thinking. So a man thinketh, so is he, the word teaches, right? So if my flesh never get the opportunity to carry out certain things, like say I would do it if I got the opportunity, it's bad enough. That's the ultimate already. Because you didn't do it, don't mean you ain't evil. Because the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. I hope y'all getting this. We walk in the flesh, but we do not war in the flesh. Our battle is right here. That's why the word teaches, like, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. We have to guard the way we think. Good morning, Donna. But we gotta guard the way we think. And we have to challenge our own personal thoughts with the word. We have to be willing to kick back and see how we think. What's our objectives in life? Where are we headed? We have to compare those thoughts with the word to see where we really at. Though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yah to the pulling down of strongholds. Strongholds, of course, is thoughts, y'all. Like thoughts that we act upon. Some call them, like habits. A stronghold is something we can do on autopilot. It's just an automatic. And so we have to challenge those automatics with the word. That's why we study to show ourselves approved. That's why we meditate in the word both day and night. That's why his word, if we hear it in our heart, that we might not sin against him. Because when you meditate in the word is going to deal with strongholds automatically without thinking. I can just fire up a cigarette without even thinking about it. Automatic, you look at certain body parts on people automatically, strongholds. It's just automatic, and what we do is we meditate in the word, and the word will pull down strongholds, things that are not Yahweh, the things that he's rescuing us from. He's rescuing us from our stinking thinking. So the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but they're mighty through Yah to the pulling down of strongholds. Look what it say, casting down imaginations. Have you found yourself daydreaming, imagining things? The word is coming to fix that. Because though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. Before you do stuff, now, primarily, before you do anything, you think about it. But strongholds are the type of thoughts that they're so embedded in us, we can do it without thinking because, again, we're on autopilot. So the word not only deals with strongholds, to the pulling down of strongholds, but it casts down imaginations. The words we sit up and we daydream, imagine slapping in the taste out of somebody's mouth. That's disrespectful. You can imagine things that are just not cool. Here we go back again. You know, Torah say don't commit adultery. The Most High say, no, I'm gonna give you a better one. Where it's really coming from is in your heart and your stinking thinking. If a man look upon a woman and lust after her, he's committed adultery already in his heart. He ain't never got to touch her. You ain't never got to slap the taste out their mouth. If you could, you would. but it's imagination. You're imagining it. And the word come to cast down imagination and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of Yah. Every high thing, every desire that we have that's not right. We're spiritual beings, and we got to realize that. And things don't have to physically be carried out in order for it to be a part of your character. The word comes to fix who you are, your character. Again, so a man thinketh, so is he. You can kick back and be in a wheelchair, can't get up. You can be on a gurney, can't get off of it, and be wicked as I don't know what. Or you can be there righteous, like Yah, like your Father. But the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. Don't think you cool because you didn't do it. Do you want to do it? If given the opportunity, would you do it? Going inside yourself and seeing who you really are. Are you a son of the Most High? Are you a daughter of the Most High? Do you belong to him? In Job, it said there was a man in the land of Oz, one who feared Yah and eschewed evil. Eschewed evil mean he hated it. He feared, which is reverence, respect. He knew Yah was nobody to play with, but it was a reverence and a respect. He feared the Most High and he hated evil. Are we at the point where we hate evil? I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about the evil spirit that's governing people, that's working in the children of disobedience. We should despise that. Not them, the spirit. Because to be honest with you, had we ran into Dawood, but David, when he had Uriah killed, stole this man's wife, tried to get him to sleep with her, but he was so loyal to the Most High, he was so loyal to David, he was so loyal to the army of Israel that he wouldn't even sleep with his own wife while they was fighting the battle, because David wanted her to sleep with her so he can think that David's baby was his. And he had him killed. If we would have seen that, we would have concluded that David was a seed of Satan. But at the end of the day, David was super scandalous and out of pocket for what he did. Don't get it twisted. But the point is, that wasn't the end of his story. The Most High concluded that he's a man that loved him and a man after Yah's heart. Because he did something that wasn't cool, but he wasn't rotten to the core. And Yah has a way of changing us. The word has a way of finding the Most High's children and casting down imaginations. Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of Yah. We could be on autopilot based on our thinking, but when the word comes, the word will challenge your thinking, how you see things. The word speakers said there's a way to seem right unto a man, but the end thereof is the ways of death. That is our thinking. But when the word is introduced to our thinking, that's when the war starts. That's why in Romans the 7th chapter, Shaul said, I was alive once without the law. But when the law came, sin revived and I died. In other words, he was comfortable with himself. He wasn't cool. He just didn't know he wasn't cool. There's a lot of us that kind of like try to live and let live our lives, don't bother nobody type of an attitude. You know what I mean? And they really don't mean wrong. We all are in sin. Ain't none of us cool. All of us were born in sin and shaped in iniquity. But some people, for the most part, try to live their life and they kind of like just, mind yours and I'll mind mine. If you come up over here and it's a problem, I didn't start it, but I'm going to finish it. That type of attitude. But when the word comes, there's a whole nother righteousness on a whole nother level. A whole nother right. To be honest with you, for the most part, Israel, us, y'all, we're the type of people, for the most part, real talk too, that have a live and let live type of attitude. There's another barbaric type of a people that I'm not going to get too deep into right now, right? Even from Torah and the land that they came from and just all kinds of stuff. They're more evil, wicked. They're not, they're a little different. They're a little different. But there is a people that like kind of, if it can be peaceful, they would love that. They're not trying to conquer the world per se. You know what I mean? They kind of like cool. They appreciate nature. They appreciate, they just want to live, right? But there is a righteousness that supersedes that. And that righteousness come from the Most High, period. Now, even those that are born with a more of a barbaric type of a nature still can submit to truth, can still submit to the Creator. See, there was a people that the Most High designated to be His chosen people, and I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. Let me just stay here. But at the end of the day, y'all, the word comes in your life to attack the way you think. Because the way we think is carnal and it's enmity against the Most High. There's a state of mind that's not subject to the law of Yah, neither indeed can be. So how do we deal with that state of mind? I'm gonna tell you how. It has to die. Some people like to try to improve it. It cannot be improved. Our righteousness is as filthy rags. When you do a good deed, it still ain't good because of our nature. I'm trying to be honest with you, y'all. Because of our nature. And a lot of times we do the good things for the wrong reason. So to get away from all of that, you have to kill it. That's what the death, burial, and resurrection is for. Like, it's harder for people that kind of was like generally a good person to be saved. So they think they're kind of like a cool person because they think that's good enough. They make statements like, I wasn't all that bad. Well, you were. You were worse than what you think. And it takes the revelation of the Most High for us to admit that you were bad enough to bust hell wide open, to be eternally separated from the Most High. See, there's a parable in the Word that speaks of he who is forgiven much, love much. And there's a revelation in doing so much wrong that at least you have revelation that you're wrong. When you feel as you don't do as much wrong, it's just more difficult for you because you, again, don't think you were all that bad. You make statements like Jesus is for them. They need Jesus type of attitude, right? Well, we all need Yahushua. 100% too. No big eyes, no little U's. And the word will come and attack your lifestyle, the way you think. Going deeper than the actions of your lifestyle. I'm talking about your lifestyle, who you really are. So a man thinketh, so is he. So the only way for us to be saved and to be at peace with the Most High, we have to allow the word to come in and literally kill. That's what repentance is, y'all. When the word comes, it will attack your stinking thinking. And if you belong to him, you're going to admit, I'm wrong. It's deeper than actions. We're going to admit we're wrong as an individual, our lifestyle, our mentality. And then when we accept the word in, that he'll come in and kill that. We'll repent from that. We'll turn from that. A lot of people's problem is they come in and they smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. So they'll conclude, I'm not going to do that. So today, I'm going to smoke 19 cigarettes instead of 20. And then 18, then 17, then 16, all the way down to 1. That's not the Most High doing that. That's you. And that's that goody two-shoes mentality. That is not the death. We got to be willing to die out. Come on, y'all. We got to die to who we used to be. I'm not saying if you like spaghetti, you ain't going to like it no more. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that when the word comes, see, it comes to pull down strongholds, cast down imaginations, and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of Yah. That's what the word come to do, right? So it come to do that. And we're going to allow that. We're going to give ourselves up and say, I'm wrong, save me. And then we're going to be like babies in him. That's why he says, suffer the children to come. For the kingdom of heaven is like children. Like we're like children. Yah, save me. Re-raise me. Teach me all over again. Because we're returning from our thinking, our lifestyle, who we were. And what the word going to do is make us into who we should be. Casting down imagination and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of Yah. And bringing into captivity every thought. Y'all heard that? Thoughts. It's going to attack thoughts. Now look. Don't believe you're wicked because you have evil thoughts. Unless those evil thoughts have a home in you. When an evil thought comes, they used to have a home in you when you were carnal. When you were a slave to that, your stinking thinking. But when you get born again, those thoughts are trying to come back and find a home in you. And you have permission to tell those thoughts, because those thoughts are spirits. You have the opportunity to tell those thoughts, no, you can't live here no more. So blessed is the man that endureth temptation. Those thoughts are coming to tempt you to let them live in you. I hate them. Comes to live there. You used to have a state of mind, I can't stand them jokers. You have a reason to say that. It was cold, wasn't it? But you say no to the thought. You don't live here no more. You're not welcome here no more. You're not going to run my life. You're not going to control my thinking, my actions. No more. Casting down imagination and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of the... Come on, y'all. The word is able to cause your thinking to obey the Most High. That's why the word says, guard your hearts, your thinking, for out of it flows the issues of life. You got to guard it. How do you guard it? With the word. That's why you study the word. So you know what's acceptable to the Most High. Because we come in anew. The weapons of our warfare, we're in a war. We're in a war. 100%. We're literally in a spiritual war. It's going down. World War III already started in our head, in your personal life. Come on, somebody. It's a war. But there's joy. There's a hiding place in the Most High. Unspeakable joy, a peace that surpasses all understanding. When you get him, you know some people do play dominoes and cards during wartime. They kind of like special. They're not on the front line where there's a hiding place in him. The name of Yah is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and they say, we can find peace in the midst of all this chaos in him. And the word is casting down every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of Yah. Bringing in captivity every thought to the obedience of the Most High. The burden of hating, or the burden of, of that crap that's going on. He said, cast it upon me, because I care. I got it. I'm going to deal with it for you. I can deal with it way better than you can. I'm going to deal with it, right? So in closing, because I was all over the place, y'all. But in closing, right, though we walk in the flesh, we don't war after the flesh. Because the weapons of our warfare, weapons, because it's a war, y'all. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yah to the pulling down of strongholds. He gonna destroy the yoke and set the captive free. Pulling down strongholds. Casting down imagination. Imagination come, don't sweat it. Rebuke that imagination. That imagination didn't come from Yah. Get up out of here. I'm not going to imagine that. You got to go. You don't live here no more. And every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of the Most High. The Most High want to reveal himself to you, his knowledge. He want to reveal his word to you. And bring in captivity every thought. Thoughts come. Thought gonna come today to try to get you to say something or do something that you ain't got no business saying or doing. And the word in you, the sword of the Spirit, is able to cut it down and say, no, he belonged to me now. She belonged to me. 6th verse, and I'm out of here. And having a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. And having readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. You can get to the point to where the Most High start using you to correct people, to reprove this world of sin, to be a spokesperson for him. He can trust you that you've been tried and proven, and you love him and you stand for him, and he can use you to encourage others. Ephesians 5:11 say, have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but yet reprove them. When wickedness is on the scene, you get to correct it. You get to correct it not only because you know scripture, but because you're living it. Having a readiness to revenge all disobedience. You are light in a dark world. Having a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. Kind of hard for you to correct people, and you scandalous too. That don't go over too well. You gotta allow the word to come in and cast some stuff down, break some strongholds, and get you right. And you belong to him. You willing for the process. You with it. You with it. I know y'all listening. You with it. You will allow. He stood at the door and knocked. He said, if any man here, let him in. You with it. Let him in. He gonna clean you up, and then he gonna use you to be a light in this dark, sinful world. I apologize, y'all. Again, I was all over the place, but the Most High, I believe, got the message across. Let's pray. Spirit of the Most High, we love you. Thank you for this opportunity to glean in your word on this morning. We pray that your word will forth with clarity. The food was served, and that your children is able to, taste and see that you're good, and we govern ourselves accordingly. We even believe you for this, and we trust you in the matchless name of Yahudah. See, that's when we pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah, and amen. So guard your thinking, y'all, and let the word in. Guard your thinking with the word. That means you got to let it in. You let the word in. Know this is a spiritual warfare. You ain't going to go out and do something without thinking about it. And when you think about it, you're going to compare your thoughts to the word. And if the thoughts ain't cool, let the word knock that crap down. If the word blessed you, push the share button. If this is a ministry that you would support, then all you got to do is go to PayPal, DerrickMann5857 at yahoo.com, DerrickMann 5857 at yahoo.com. And we're on the line right now, 302-202-1102, extension 815648. Y'all chime in if you want to chop it up. Continue to pray for me as I pray for you. Y'all be Baruch and Barak Shalom. I'm gone.